Before we start the interview, we must first take a look at the job requirement matrix, job importance duty, and time spent on different tasks.
The job requirements matrix is shown here. The job requirements matrix is in order from the most important and most time-consuming job duties to the least important ones. The job duty of supervision requires competencies and knowledge of equipment and attention to detail, which are both important and essential. Verification necessitates listening skills, ability to follow directions, and quick responsiveness. Knowledge of where equipment belongs is important for janitorial duties. Listening skills, knowledge of equipment, and knowledge of gym policies and procedures are essential for customer service job duties.
As a fitness assistant at the gym, there are 4 major areas of importance. There is supervision, verification, janitorial service, and customer service. Supervision is 40% of the job, verification is 30% of the job, janitorial services are 20% of the job, and customer service is 10% of the job. For each area of importance, there is a relative time spent doing this job. This position requires about 65% of the time to be devoted to supervision, 15% of the time to verification, 10% to janitorial services, as well as 10% to customer service.
Next.
What's going on? Why is it so
I ask the questions here.
Excuse me?
Do you want to do this the easy way or the hard way?
What?
How many years have you since you graduated college?
20?
Wow, you're practically middle-aged. What's your marital status? Are you any children in your future? Because you have a mommy track at this company.
Well, what do you mean?
Do you do CrossFit?
Well, no, because it's kind of expensive.
You can't afford CrossFit? What?
Well, no.
Look, if you're unwilling to give me straightforward answers to these questions, I'm going to suggest you do a polygraph test. I don't bring up the machine, but it looks like I have to.
That's it. I'm done. And get that flashlight out of my face.
Never.
What a jerk. Worst interview ever. So unstructured.
You know what? This isn't Burger King. You can't have it your way. I wouldn't you're a bad candidate anyway from your crappy signature. Graphology never lies.
This interview was a bad interview because it was unstructured. Unstructured interviews have low validity and reliability and include questions that are different for each candidate and are delivered differently by each interviewer. The success of these interviews usually isn't measured using a scoring key, which can lead to adverse impact in the hiring process.
Hi, I missed that.
Nice to meet you. I'm Stephanie.
Please have a seat.
Thank you.
Based on the job description, what do you perceive are important skills needed for the position?
I believe that knowledge of the equipment, being a good listener, as well as the ability to follow directions and respond effectively are necessary. I also believe that you need to be CPR and first aid certified, in which I personally made myself familiar with.
That is correct, and I'm glad that you have that certification so that we don't have to insert that into your training. For our final question, imagine that you're working as a fitness assistant at the College Ave Gym and one of your friends attempts to enter a fitness class without a flex pass. What would you do? How would you respond if your friend's flex pass was expired?
Well, definitely I would tell my friend that everyone who attends the College Ave student gym has to have a flex pass, and everyone has to follow the rules. If I notice that the flex pass is expired, I would offer them to renew it or tell them that they should. But if they do refuse to renew their pass, I would have to talk it up with my supervisor and report the installation.
All right, well, thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.
Nice to meet you.
Too.
During this interview, we used a scale to judge how well Stephanie did on a situational question the interviewer asked.
This interview was a good interview because it was structured. Structured interviews are interviews where candidates are asked predetermined questions that are job-related and assessed using scoring keys to determine the success of the interview. This standardization of interviews makes structured interviews more reliable and valid than unstructured interviews. In this interview, the relevance of questions asked to the position of fitness assistant reduced the potential for adverse impact or violation of hiring discrimination laws.
That's all, folks.